the one thing I couldn't find. Is it the one you usually wear around your neck?
Is that like the most important
She's a
thing?
very important part of our family legacy.
Yeah.
You have to find it.
I will. Promise.
It's a good thing you didn't promise him that you let him die with dignity. Because
So sorry.
it's just...
I never wanted to involve.
Hey guys, we're back with another episode of the Vampire Diaries. Last episode left us a little bit heartbroken. At least I was heartbroken because Klaus learned of the betrayal from both Rebecca and Marcel, and he didn't take it well. He claimed that he wanted to kill them, but in the end he just wanted, specifically Rebecca, he just wanted Rebecca to feel a little bit of the fear that he felt when Michael came for him, which is very Klaus-like, you know, eye for an eye kind of thing in the most extreme kind of ways. But he realized how hurt he was at the end, and how, in spite of the pain and the anger that he felt towards his sister, he doesn't want to kill her. It's just really painful to realize that your own blood conspired to kill you. Rebecca had a moment where she actually admitted that maybe she did want him dead, because in Rebecca's mind, Klaus tortured her. It's not really in just her mind, like she actually did torture her. So I'm just saying that, you know, Klaus has Michael as an abuser and Rebecca has Klaus as an abuser. It's just a very toxic and complicated relationship that the Mikaelsons have. The difference here is that Michael treated Klaus like that and abused him out of hatred and disgust and a lot of negative emotions. Whether Klaus, I feel that he has this control over his siblings, over Rebecca, and he does things not because he hates her and not because he has disgust towards her. It's just, it comes from a different place. It comes from a place of self-loathing, and I don't know, like he's not that confident within himself. He has a lot of fears and a lot of messed up things in his head that makes him act this way, but doesn't come from the same emotion that Michael, right? Like he doesn't want to actually torture his siblings in the same way that Michael wants to torture him and kill him and feels towards him. Does that make sense? So I feel like in a way, it's different. It doesn't make it any better, because from Rebecca's point of view, you know, her life has been a living hell because of Klaus. So I understand why she did what she did in her desperation. It just sucks, because that it had to get to that point. And I don't know if this whole thing is going to make Klaus realize how his actions, whether it is because he loves Rebecca so much and he wants to protect her and he doesn't really know how to show it, and he's just so scared that he just lashes out, and this is the way that he shows that he cares. I don't know. That he's going to start to realize that there are other ways. There's better ways to do things, to go at things, that he doesn't have to have this control over her, that she is not his to control, first of all. So maybe something good will come out of this. At least that's my hope. Rebecca did leave. I don't know how long she's going to be away. Hopefully she's going to come back, because if not, it's just going to be weird, because it's not going to be the originals. It's just going to be Elijah and Klaus. Like 2 out of 5? Yeah, 2 out of 5. It doesn't make the originals. I'm sorry. Even though, like, 2 of my favorite ones, you know, it's Klaus and Elijah and Rebecca. Like those are the three ones. But I do like Cole, and I do miss Cole, and poor Finn. Nobody really cares about Finn, even though I do feel for him because he did have a horrible life. So I don't know. I do wish that all of them would be involved somehow, but you know, we have two of them that are already dead, so it makes it kind of difficult. Anyways, yeah, this is probably going to be right after this whole Rebecca Marcel craziness. Elijah told Marcel to get the hell out of the French Quarter. I don't know where he's going to go, probably close by, because I don't feel like he's just going to leave. He told Rebecca that he's not going anywhere, so he's just going to stick around as close as possible to oversee everything and to be there for the vampires that still look up to him. And I don't know how Klaus is going to react now or how he's going to act, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But the greater the loss, the deeper the cut. The pain may fade.
Oh yeah, he's still...
But scars serve as a reminder of our
hexed.
suffering.
I forgot about that.
And out in frustration.
Distractions, okay.
React with aggression.
Oh my god.
We are healed.
Can you imagine the relief? Oh my
Ready to
god, that's
begin
so good.
anew.
Spoken like a man who's made peace with his demons.
My demons are
Oh,
dead.
is that the speech he's giving to her?
Yes, apart from the one lingering monster with whom you share a bed. Woman tortured our sister.
She also revealed the truth about
Yeah.
our sister's treachery.
And as a consequence, Rebecca is gone forever.
A desire which she apparently harbored for quite some time.
Plus, it has been a month. The city grew accustomed to having
Look
a
at him
king.
having a fit.
You wanted this throne.
I'm sorry, like, I'm gonna go back because that is just hilarious. Look at his face. It reminds me of like a child having a tantrum. Like, I don't want to. I just want to sit here and paint. Okay.
Because over the course of Marcel's tenure, the city grew accustomed to having a king. I wonder what will become of your daughter.
Oh, don't go there.
Have you forgotten what it was like to live beneath the threat of violence? We must work together, Nicholas.
I mean, he does have a point, though. Like, Elijah does have a point because he wanted this, and now that he has it, he's like, eh,
If you won't do anything,
I don't want it anymore.
I will.
I just wanted to get the power. I didn't actually want to lead. Like,
Has long been neutral ground. This place we call home. Thank you all for coming.
Yes, thank you. And what?
God, he's hanging by a thread, isn't he?
These are the rules of the city according to Marcel Gerard,
Gerard.
which of course no longer apply. Current chaos in the city. However, you have one very, very simple choice ahead of you here. You can all play nicely together, or you can leave.
Oh, Davina.
See, Davina, it's easy. All you have to do is try.
I am trying.
Trying and failing.
Me, Monique.
Never.
When you stop being weak. You're supposed to be a harvest girl, but maybe you don't belong here. Maybe you never did.
Maybe your face needs to get punched.
Then all we gotta do is just forget she spent half her life with humans and the other half with vampires.
Ollie, back off.
It's okay. If the run of the litter's got something to say, he should say it.
The other
Where
half.
did you hear this?
It's been months.
It doesn't matter. The point is that we're stuck here living in the swamp while your vampire boyfriend's deciding who gets what in the city. And I guess that shows how much respect he's got for the werewolves, huh?
Well, you're not in the city right now, so maybe it's about baby steps.
We'll all heed to the following.
Are you serious? You're dividing up the city and the werewolves don't even get a say?
What the hell is she doing here?
Diego, sit.
I can guarantee that you will all regret it.
Okay, calm down. Like, I understand that it sucks for the werewolves, but like, baby steps, Haley. Like, you're not part of the French Quarter right now. Like, you're living in the Bayou. That's your reign right now. They need to establish some type of order for the people that are living in the French Quarter right now because it's chaos and you just want to just add another fuel to the fire and bring the werewolves. Like, first you need to make peace with what's going on, and then bring the werewolves. Like, it doesn't have to happen all at once. Because then it's just making things even more complicated. Like, did you see how hard it was just to have the vampires and witches like communicating? Now you want to bring werewolves into this mix?
Because I didn't even know what you were doing out here until someone else told me.
Because it
Tell me
not
something,
concerns you
Elijah.
right now.
Did you leave the werewolves out because of me?
Oh my god.
I excluded them because they no longer reside in the French Quarter. My immediate
Yeah.
concern is to end the mounting conflict here. Now, I can assure you, once this treaty is solidified, it will expand to include your people.
And until then, I should tell them what? Sit, stay, roll over.
I would prefer that you remove yourself from the process altogether.
Seriously, it's so annoying.
I saw the light from the courtyard and took a chance that you weren't with the half-naked psycho witch. Seems I gambled and lost.
It's his
10 minutes ago, I
house.
was fully naked.
Oh, then you served your purpose. Don't let me hold you up.
What? Okay. I'm sorry. Klaus doesn't owe you anything. I understand that. I mean, she wasn't the one that cursed your uncle, first of all. Yeah, she didn't want to help because she is a bitch or whatever you want to call it. But this is his house, first of all. You're walking in there unannounced and you're making like this whole like deal about him sleeping with her because she's refused to help your uncle. Like, he has anything to do with this situation? Like, he owes you anything? No.
The woman tried to blackmail me into stabbing you with the mystical knife of excruciating pain.
Well,
So?
New Orleans breeds nothing if not strange bedfellows. But I assume
That's
you're
his
not
business,
here to
not
question
yours.
me. Sorry, Cammy. The damage is done.
I refuse to accept that. And you would too if you had any concept of family.
I can't just start practicing again. I knew I shouldn't have trusted Marcel when he told me to go back. I don't know how much more of it I can take.
No weapons, no allies.
Oh shit.
You go even close to the quarter and Elijah will kill you. That's if Klaus doesn't get you first.
So what, maybe I should hide out in Bucktown like you.
You were always great with words, Marcel. But it's gonna take more than a pretty speech this time.
Oh. Dang.
We'll figure it out.
I tried to figure it out with Sean. But I was focused too much on that instead of trying to stop him. And I'm not gonna let that happen to me. Mine. And yours.
Kick him in the face.
Mr. Mikaelson,
Ms. Correa.
please call me Francesca.
We can dispense with any formalities, Ms. Correa. I know exactly who you are. Are you giving me a mandate?
No,
Sounds like it. Like,
I'm giving you an ally.
he's not gone yet.
Peace just as much as you do. My lifestyle, which I enjoy very much. I've already spoken to the city's new mayor and the chief of police and other.
Wow, you
interested
took some
parties,
liberties.
and I have their blessing.
Is that all you're gonna do? Paint?
Not a fan of cerulean blue.
Not a fan of your continued indifference.
Well, it's difficult trying to unite a community that has a history of mutual loathing.
Spare me the...
You must begin with the werewolves. 100 years ago, they had a run at ruling this city. As of late, all they've had is time to watch their enemies tear down that legacy.
All the more reason why their enemies are reluctant to bring them to the table.
Take a page from Bienville, brother. If the table's the obstacle,
Remove it.
remove it.
Are you suggesting that I throw a party?
I'm surprised. Is it because he's part werewolf? Or because he did this before? Like, I remember when we had that flashback when he was like ruling the city and he had like camaraderie with werewolves, like they were a part of it. they had a mutual understanding and everything. So I don't know if he has like an alternate plan here. It just seems weird for him to be like, okay, let's start with them if you want peace, because there's no peace like inside right now. So like to me, like it seems kind of adding more to the fire, or like making it more complicated if you bring some like a third party to make it like even harder, because now you have like a third set of complications and a third group that wants something different. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe it would be like best to just like rip up the band-aid and do everything at the same time. But I feel like first you have to figure out how to harmonize what's going on inside, and then extend, and then bring them in and kind of see, like, give them that voice that they want. But right now nobody really has a voice, so it's kind of it's a very complicated thing. So I don't know. So I'm just wondering what his motives are, if it's actually peace, or if he has like something else up his sleeves. Also, the fact that he's just sitting there and just painting, it concerns me. It does, because it just seems like he's just biding his time, just thinking, just planning. So I don't know. Plus, you can't tell me that they're not gonna fight in this party. No. I mean, you don't trust a bunch of vampires and a bunch of werewolves in one room and expect them to get along just because there's booze. No. It's not gonna work.
You know, in light of Kieran's deteriorating condition, the others have acquiesced to your proposal. He will represent the human faction until he's ready to resume.
And I suggest we make the most of our limited time together.
There. Oh.
Look, if you expect me to beg for my life, that's not me anymore.
You think I'm here to kill you?
She has to start doing magic again.
Why are you telling me?
Because someone has to tell her, and she won't listen to me.
So, what, I tell her and you try to get her back on your side? Right? Go back to using her as your personal weapon?
I don't care whose side she ends up on, just that she's safe. Because we both know right now she isn't.
Yeah, see? His people killed my whole family. My sister bled out on the floor right next to me. And the only reason I'm standing here is because Marcel came along and turned me before I bled out too. So I'm telling you right now, I cannot be polite and welcoming to that.
Yeah, but was it him, or was it some...
However, there are certain overtures that need to be made for you to...
Right, because, like, I understand that there's been animosities and, like, fights and all these things, but at some point you have to move, like, either forward or just, like, stay still, because I'm sure werewolves have really bad encounters with vampires, too. Like, they have their set of stories where like vampires came in and murdered their families. So it's not just, you know, one side is a victim and the other one's like monsters. They're both kind of like monsters to one another. And it's not like, when he said they're people, I'm assuming, you know, like werewolves a long time ago when he was a human. But it's not the werewolves that are in the bayou right now. So like you cannot put the blame on what happened a long time ago with werewolves that are probably dead already on them, right? And I know that it's hard because you want to just like associate like or blame an entire group of people for what a few of them did to your family. And it's like, and it's natural. Like I feel like that's what we do. That's what humans do too. You know, it's a normal thing that happens all the time. It's just, if you want peace, right? Like if you want to move forward, you just have to kind of like let go past grievances and be the better person. So I understand what Elijah's trying to do, but I also see how hard it would be for Diego to just kind of be smiley and welcoming to werewolves when he's so traumatized over the fact that werewolves came in and killed his entire family. So it's always so hard to kind of be on one side of a situation in this show, and a lot of shows, but I feel like that's a good thing. I really like that there's no like right and wrong. Even though, you know, sometimes you like, yeah, this person is clearly right. That does happen. But in a lot of the times, you can, if you put yourself in a character's shoes and see it from their perspective and from their past experiences and their motivations, you can actually understand why they're responding the way they are. So it's kind of like, okay, I can see it from your side of things. So it makes it difficult to kind of choose a side. But as I was saying, this party is not gonna end well. Like, I guarantee that there's going to be a fight. And yeah, I'm just wondering if Klaus knows that and is expecting for that to happen. Or like what? Because it just seems weird. Klaus never does just things just for the sake of like that. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
I don't
rather
know.
unlikely that you'll experience an outpouring of kind sentiment here.
Don't tell me you're jealous of Camille, love.
Just
This can be very
curious and keep her
interesting.
company. She seems so ordinary.
Well, sometimes ordinary is a welcome respite. Our hearts are more similar than you might realize. You see, long before I evolved, mine beat as a werewolf.
Evolved?
I know your power. I know your burden. I'm here to take the latter away.
Oh.
You want to make me a hybrid?
That sense of loyalty. Well, that's exactly why I haven't snapped your neck yet.
Well, if you're not going to kill me, then what the hell do you want?
Only to give you back the city that was taken from you. Vampires destroy life to survive. Witches are only as powerful as their dead. The werewolves have thrived because their strength comes from family unity.
Is this about your daughter?
The safety of that unity is what I want for my unborn child. I hadn't seen it for 1,000 years, and then it turned up hanging around the neck of a werewolf, a direct descendant of my biological father. I believe she gave him this ring as a way of freeing him. And the sun, so why not a moonlight ring to protect werewolves from the curse? Think about it. No more breaking bones. No more losing control to the beast within.
What's the catch, though? I don't know. I don't know.
What do I have to do?
Go away.
Her name is Monique.
God. I mean, in this case, yes, take him. Take him. She doesn't need this bitch. Sometimes I'd see her more pregnant, and sometimes I don't see her pregnant that much. Like, I feel like her belly changes sizes.
And you even got Klaus to come out and play.
Yes, lately it seems that only a sizable soiree is enough to tear my brother away from his efforts at the easel.
I'm not gonna sit in a rocking chair and knit booties, or haven't you figured that out yet?
Can I have a minute, Haley?
Yeah, you're a
You can
badass.
have it later.
Actually, he can have the stands. You're the first person to help me in a month. Kieran's the only family I have left. Without him, I'm alone.
Yeah, I'm a little short on family myself these days.
Should I have him put it in a bowl for you?
Diego.
Well, yeah, if you want me to crush your skull with it.
Please, boys, at least fight over something interesting. Me, perhaps?
No, you don't want to get involved with his kind. See, they got this nasty little habit of going berserk and ripping innocent people to shreds.
This ends now.
Wow.
I won't ask again.
Kill him.
What?
I mean, it's not like he doesn't deserve to die.
Oh.
Shouldn't you intervene or
I
something?
thought you were talking
Why would I?
about...
This party just got interesting.
I mean, it was Oliver who handed Rebecca over to the witches so they could torture her. And the witches cursed the wolves, while the humans stood back and let it all happen. So when you think about it, everyone here deserves to die.
Are you approaching a point?
My point, Elisha, is this. If we can't all learn to get along, if our families can't create some sort of community, then what's the point?
Wasn't that the whole point of the peace treaty to begin with? I might get hate for this. I know there's some Haley fans out there, and that's fine. Like it's just they know this. They know that like peace is important. Like that's what Elijah was trying to do when he brought them to the table. That's what this whole party is about. For them to, you know, be able to have a sense of community, for them to start like looking at each other in a different light, like that's the whole point of this. But are you gonna tell me that it's not until Haley stands up and makes this big speech that everybody becomes aware of this? That's how important that is?
He used you to fight the people who were trying to kill you.
No.
And, you know, he also saved you from those people, so... You don't have to trust the guy, but he does love you.
This is so soft.
Even if I don't have any magic. All the power I had was from the other Harvest Girls. I don't even know what I have without it.
Maybe you should try.
Don't you owe it to yourself to find out?
There you go. Were all the flowers dead before? Right, because they were like roses.
There's some bruises. I'm still bruised. Oh, bruise is such a funny word. It sounds like booze. Do we have any more booze?
No, I think we drank it all.
Okay, this was unexpected. I was not expecting to see this. Ever. But okay. Oh, are you spying on her? That's creepy.
I have the same thing I had when I rebuilt this city from the ashes the first time. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. I'm making inroads. Allies, not the least of which is Davina. And I'm not leaving this roof until I can count you in too.
So us against the world?
We'll get a third. And a fourth. And pretty soon we're gonna have that army.
All change begins with a plan.
How are you doing a full moon?
Passion for one's cause.
Hey! To Haley!
Yeah, be scared, bitch.
Determination to overcome any obstacle. And in some cases, even making unnatural alliances.
You made a deal with Klaus Mikaelson.
They'll be lethal, first of all.
We can finally control what we are. We can draw on all the strength, all the speed, and the raw power of our werewolf form.
Mm-hmm. They would be able to bite them at any point, right?
Lethal to vampires, the humans who hunt us, the witches who curse us, the vampires who hate us. We wouldn't just be there.
And I mean, I'm sure Klaus has thought of this because, and since he's immune, so. But
sign it.
What the end goal is.
You've already done so on our behalf. But I assure you, the city's inhabitants will not adhere to this agreement.
Well, you are welcome to wager against me. You will lose.
Well, don't test him, because you don't want to challenge this guy. Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder what his end goal is. Does he want werewolf supremacy? Oops. Because, you know, as a hybrid, he would be like he can't be killed by werewolf bite, right? I don't know if it affects him at all, since we've never really seen it. I know, like, as an original, the werewolf bite doesn't really kill you, it just makes you hallucinate. So since he's a hybrid, I don't know how that would affect, or if anything. I don't think it would hurt him at all. So he's fine. So I don't know if that's the whole idea of having the werewolves take over, and then that's how he takes over in a way. I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's so early on in the plans. Like, he spent most of the episode just painting. But yeah, like, he's painting, but at the same time he's thinking and he's planning, and he's very meticulous that way, which is something that I love about him. And now they have signed this treaty with their blood, because they can't just do it normally. It has to be like super dramatic like that. And for vampires and werewolves, it's fine because they can heal. And witches, they probably can too. They can just make a spell and heal. But the hell, the poor human has to, like, cut herself. Are they gonna help her? Is someone gonna give her blood so she can heal too? Because that would be, like, the right thing to do if you expect her to bleed in this cup. And it's just... I don't know. I don't feel like I can fully explain why I don't like Haley. She just... I feel like that's mostly it. The level of importance that they're giving her. Like in this episode, for example. Like, she comes into this meeting that she wasn't invited to for a reason, and demanding shit. And yeah, like, Klaus kind of agreed that werewolves needed to be brought in, but it's not for the same reasons that Haley wants that. Like, I'm sure he has other plans. And then they've been, like, Elijah has been trying to get the factions to get along and try to figure out a way to bring peace. And Klaus tells him, oh, you know, just throw a party and have them mingle. And they're all fighting. And it's not until Haley comes in and tells them that they need to get along that they actually decide to get along, and this treaty works. They can sign this agreement. Okay. I don't buy it. It just seems like they're just trying to make Haley look like, oh god, she's like a queen right now. Like, she's so good. She is gonna single-handedly bring peace to the French Quarter and give the werewolves a voice. And now she can be like the alpha of this pack because she's so fucking amazing. Like, that's where I think it's going. Whatever. Other than that, I feel like it was a really strong episode. I love to see Klaus, you just planning things. Then you have Camille and Marcel, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm not exactly mad about it. I prefer that to the Marcel and Rebecca situation for reasons that I've already explained. So, yeah. And I wasn't that annoyed with Camille. I mean, she doesn't annoy me. The only times that I'm just like, okay, can you, like, stop? Is when she starts, like, babbling about her psychology. Like, we get it. You have a psychology degree. But then she just starts quoting Freud all of the time. It's like, do you know anyone else? And she's, like, every time she's just trying to psychoanalyze people. And when she starts doing that, instead of just having a conversation, like, nobody's asking you to do this. Like, why are you doing it? So that becomes kind of annoying. And I feel like a few of you agreed in the comments. And now in this episode, she just walks in to Klaus's house and starts judging him for sleeping with someone who tried to hurt him. It's like, well, is his business who he wants to sleep with? If he wants to sleep with someone who betrayed him, that's his prerogative. Like, who the hell are you to comment at all? Especially when you're coming here unannounced. Like it's your house. What? No. Also, wait, what's her name? It's not Christine. What the hell is her name? You know the witch that Klaus is sleeping with, the one that tortured Rebecca, right? She was spying on Camille and Marcel, so I'm wondering what she's going to do with that information. If she's going to tell Klaus and maybe get a rise out of him, because apparently Klaus has some type of feelings towards Camille. We've seen it since like episode 3, right? That he likes her. So I don't know where that's going. She mentioned her before. It's like, oh, you like her, she's so ordinary, and Klaus is like, well, sometimes ordinary is good, or something like that, because he's surrounded by like most like extraordinary people, like vampires and werewolves and all this stuff, and then a human comes along and makes him feel something like different. So I can see why Camille would be kind of like a breath of fresh air, but it is now that he's giving himself the opportunity to kind of feel that, because I feel like she's not the only human that she's come in contact with in the 1,000 years. So it's not like she's so special that, right, just because she's human and all this stuff, that there's more to her. I do feel like she has an understanding of who he is, and you know, she does listen to him and gives him something. You know, like this whole like psychoanalyzing thing can get on my nerves sometimes, but I like when they have just normal conversations, and she does genuinely seems to want to help him sometimes. So yeah, I don't know where all these relationships are going, but I'm interested to see, because there's another one brewing apparently with Haley and this werewolf guy that sounds like he has something stuck in his throat, like he just ate a peanut and the peanut got like stuck in his like right here, and now he's just like weird. Yeah, like every time he was talking, I was having a hard time like focusing on what he was saying, because I was just like, dude, why are you talking like Batman right now? It's so weird. But he's okay. I don't know if he's going to be a villain or if he's, you know, he seems like a good guy, but as of right now, he has plans of the whole werewolf supremacy situation. And every time someone has ideas of supremacy and taking over and making other creatures and other groups kind of, you know, they're not exactly heroic. So we'll see. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that episode. I really loved it. I really liked to see Davina also. She was kind of having problems with her powers, and she managed to show Monique that she is a badass witch, which I'm glad, because Monique is super annoying too. A lot of people annoy me. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, we're back with another episode of The Originals. We're in season 1, episode 18. Last episode, we saw Elijah kind of struggling because he wanted to, he had a peace treaty that he wanted to get everybody to sign, because he felt that it was important to get the peace going within all the factions. But to him, it was important for him to do it for the factions that were still in the quarter first, and then extend to the werewolves. Klaus thought it was important for the werewolves to be included right away. So did Haley. I don't know. I know why Haley wants to do it. Klaus has other motives. I feel like he has his own thing going because he was talking to Jackson about a ring that would stop them from turning every full moon, but the ring was also could give them control over their turn, so they could like half turn or something, like a hybrid, because that's what Jackson made it seem like. They could control their turning to the point where they can just turn a little bit, just enough so they can bite a vampire. So that would make them lethal 24/7 all the time to vampires. And I don't know if Klaus knows that. I don't think he's an idiot, and that just the thought didn't cross his mind. So is he thinking about werewolf supremacy here? Because he's a hybrid, so I don't know. It wouldn't affect him. It would affect his family though, and maybe he's just so bitter about it, like with the vampires in general, that he just doesn't want them to be top dog anymore. But I was in Elijah's side, just because I don't know, like Marcel when he was king, he had this kind of like dictatorship thing going on. I don't know about politics, okay? So don't don't judge me too hard. I'm just like thinking, you know, like my gut feeling or like what I feel. And it just seems to me that, you know, when he was in power, he had control over the vampires. Sure, they trusted him and everything, but he was their king. He told them what to do. He had very strict rules, and he had death sentences for them. He kind of kept the witches under leash. He didn't allow them to have equal rights at all. They couldn't do magic or else they died. And he banished the werewolves to the Bayou. So yeah, he did a lot of shit. So when I like, to me, if like there's a change of power now and the Mikaelsons are taken over, I understand the idea of like just trying to find a way to first get the peace going with the people that are left in the quarter, because this is kind of similar as if, you know, there's this country and it's been under dictatorship rule for so long. There's a faction that was kicked out because the tensions between like another faction inside the city was really deadly, and there's a change of power. I don't feel like the first thing that you should do would be bring those people back so they can have that war again. Because I feel like the first thing that you have to do is kind of like minimize the tensions that are left behind from the past, from the previous rule, and kind of like gain the trust of these factions that are living in the quarter, and then bring or extend to like the people that were banished, and they can just come. And I don't know, because it just feels like too much too soon to do that. But at the end, Haley, she single-handedly made it so that everybody realized how important it is to have peace in the quarter, and now the werewolves were involved, and everybody signed because she made this huge speech about how everybody's guilty, everybody has done bad shit, and they all deserve to die, basically. And I'm just like, okay, sure. And I did talk about like Haley and my feelings towards her. She's not my favorite. I don't hate her. I just don't. exactly like her. Like, I don't care if she's here or not right now. I don't know if that's going to change in the future. Hopefully it does, because it looks like she's going to be very important. And if I don't care, it's going to be super annoying to see her at the forefront. And this is not Phoebe Tonkin's fault. It is the fact that she's a terrible actress, but like that's I'm used to it by now, so I don't really care that much. Sure. But the fact that she has such an importance, like such a big thing, like she's carrying Klaus's baby. She's like the head Mikaelson lady right now. And I feel like I want to see Rebecca. That's where I signed up for the originals, for the family. That's where I feel like the attention should be towards. But if Claire Holt doesn't want to be involved, then that's her deal. I feel like the writers have to do something about it. They need a lead. They need a female lead. So the best thing would be Haley. So I understand that, and that's what it is. Like, I can't be too upset about it. I just, up to right now, I feel like they're forcing her down my throat. Like, look how great she is. Like, look how special she is. And I'm not biting yet. So, plus that they're like forcing this thing with Elijah, which I don't feel they have chemistry. I'm sure there's a lot of shippers out there who saw chemistry right away, but to me, everything seemed like super forced. Like she needs to be involved. Like, she needs to have a love interest with the Mikaelsons, and they're not gonna do it with Klaus because there's too much going on with Klaus already. So of course, like, Elijah is the next best thing, and they need her to have like a strong voice with the werewolves, right? So I don't know. Hopefully I change my mind. I've been known to do that. I start hating characters and then I end up loving them, so we'll see. Why are they so... Do they need to be so uncomfortable? Something Genevieve.
Okay? You sounded like you were possessed.
Yeah.
I wasn't possessed. I was channeling the ancestors. They say it's time to complete the reaping.
What's a new era in the French Quarter? This place could use a makeover.
Careful, Elijah. When this one agrees with you, it's a sure sign she wants something.
Actually,
yeah.
I do have a request. I'm told our coven hasn't been able to celebrate feast days in the open since Marcel restricted the use of magic.
So your coven attempted to destroy my family, and you yourself held my siblings in unspeakable torment. And you would like a party for the witches.
Yes, because all the witches. It's not just about Genevieve.
With your brother.
It's about... Like, you're trying to make peace with, like, everybody. So give them things back. Like, you can't just keep them suppressed. And this is not just about Genevieve. This is a feast that all witches celebrate. And I'm sure it is important to them. Or, like, at least the idea of, like, oh, look, we're being seen as equals. Like, we are able to celebrate our festivities and things are important to us. Maybe Genevieve has her own motives, true. Like, she has her own reasons to want to have this party. But I don't feel like it's all about her.
Besides, what better way to cement solidarity than a show of faith to a one-time enemy?
A one-time enemy with whom you've grown rather nauseatingly intimate.
Well, who said maintaining alliances can't be fun? Don't worry. I'll bring her home before the birth. No child of mine will be born in a swamp.
You gotta be kidding me. Seriously, what is going on? Who are all these people?
His name is Carrie. He's got blonde hair and brown eyes. He's one of my clan, a distant relative from the northeast.
Blonde hair and brown eyes.
It's required if we're to continue with our plan. You find him and you bring him to me. Because it's my decree that she does. I believe the words you're looking for are thank you.
I think you're giving yourself way too much importance.
Say
I
no
feel
if you
like
have an alternative.
it's gonna blow up in your face.
No.
Seriously, Camille?
Do whatever you have to do, just help him.
Yeah, thank you. Like, don't let your ego be more important than helping your uncle.
If you ask, I don't want Cammy getting hurt.
She's not wrapped around his finger.
Do you have any idea what Klaus is gonna do? He finds out that we hooked up?
Not my problem. The thing we need to worry about is what his hybrid ass is up to.
He's got something going on with the witches.
Look around, Marcel. We have nothing.
I started with nothing. Hell, things didn't get rolling until I turned you. You and your music and the whole city for the taking.
They said it's time for you to sacrifice yourself.
Wow. No pressure.
Of course. It will be an honor to fulfill my duty to our coven.
Yeah, right?
The Mikaelson's mother, Esther, was a powerful witch. Her spellbook contains enchantments that we can use to our own ends. I can steal it for our coven, and we'll never be held in subjugation again.
I don't like any of this.
You'll have your sacrifice. But I have things to do before I die.
I've been more than willing to remove you.
It's just interesting that there's like this peace treaty, but it doesn't seem like they have
Vampires
many
options. Down to
options.
witches.
I see it as a demonstration of strength.
The witches are the ones that cursed your pack. And they've been nothing but crap.
Ah, see, and this is another thing. You want to be a part of this, then do your due diligence. Like, if you want to be a part of the quarter, then it comes with responsibilities. You cannot just be like, oh yeah, we want to voice the table. But when it comes to, you know, show a sense of like community and like support and actually put this peace treaty to work, you're like, no thanks, we're good. We don't want to be involved. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, I understand like the vampires and the witches because they've been kind of like forced into this like situation, but you wanted to be a part of it. Like, you actually went to talk to Elijah and be like, the werewolves want to be involved. They want a voice. Blah 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 blah. So now that Elijah's asking you to show some support and to show that this peace treaty is actually working, or you actually want this peace treaty to work, now you're just gonna be like, no thanks, because the witches cursed us.
To me, since I first came to town, no.
If we're gonna coexist, we have to play ball. We'll send a representative with a gift.
Yeah, like...
When I asked you to bring Carrie to me, it was as my guest. Might I recommend you release him before I opt to release you from your mortal coil?
I found him like you asked, and he jumped me. Now, his pack's been going up mine since the beginning of time. I don't owe him a thing.
You see, it's that short-sighted attitude that led to the demise of the werewolves.
I never saw it with the stone.
Or could you ask around for me, mate? See what you can find out.
You can't just start a revolution all on your own from exile across the river. I mean, like it or not, Elijah's plan's a new reality.
Elijah's got you bowing down to witches.
Right. It's not. Oh, God.
And who's gonna lead?
It's so frustrating. I know Terry's point. Like, he wants them to think that. And I feel like, yeah, maybe the vampires think that, but that's not what he wants. He wants everybody to be the same. They're not bowing down to witches. This is just like, yeah, they're having a party, and yes, just you come in with a gift to show that think of them as a member of your community and blah 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 blah. That doesn't mean you're bowing down to them. It just means that you're thinking of them as equals. I'm sure if like there's like a vampire festivity that the vampires wanted to do, like it would have been kind of the same. But it's hard because the vampires have been the supreme, like the elite up to now. So there is just a way of showing that there's a balance now. I don't know.
this rebellion, huh? You?
This is why it's not gonna work, because nobody
I got a
really...
few ideas.
Because nobody thinks that they
Roger
should be the
Michaelson's a dick,
same.
no doubt.
Everybody just wants to be
Thing is, with him, at least I know where I stand.
better than everybody else.
We've been watching.
All right, maybe T's got a short memory, but I don't.
Hmm.
You're a coward.
Oh, shit.
When I picked up that coin, I was saving your ass.
Klaus is gonna kill all of you.
A good leader knows when he's got to fight another day.
All right? I picked the winning side, so if you want to start a war, you're fighting against me.
Oh, shit.
Time we got more persuasive.
Ah!
No need to get all riled up.
Yeah, do you have to be so violent about it?
Play nice. Last month of pregnancy is all hormones and mood swings, so unless you want me to snap your arm like a twig, I suggest that you tell me what is going on.
We made an alliance.
Relax, Haley.
It's gonna change everything for the wolves.
An alliance with who?
Klaus.
Tell me everything.
Oh, God. I bet they get this, people will be like, yes, Haley, I don't know, because I bet you that this was the other way around. If someone was just like all of a sudden being like super aggressive out of nowhere with a girl, it would have been a completely different story. Like, why do you have to show such a, like a, I don't know, I guess you have to show like force, that you're not just some girl, right? That you can take care of yourself, or that you have the strength to fight. I don't know. I don't like her. I don't.
Your mother was powerful.
Oh, here it goes.
She would have had access to all manner of spells. Perhaps I could take a look through her grimoire.
You want to use Father Kieran's ailment as an excuse to look through my mother's spellbook. It's very devious.
Come on, the grimoire is worthless. I mean...
Oh, God.
You think you have leverage over me? I will not be manipulated.
Yeah.
And I won't be threatened.
I feel like Genevieve could kick his ass.
Know where we bless you all.
Just that earth, wind, and fire. That's lame. I thought she was gonna make something like burn or something. I don't know. Anything could do that. That could have been remote controlled. Aw.
Thank you for all of this.
This isn't for you. You know as well as I that your people would never accept a truce unless we showed them some respect. So be it. Enjoy your party.
You asked for a representative for the werewolves, so take me or leave me.
It's just this, like, bitchy attitude that she has that I don't like. Plus, it doesn't help that she has that resting bitch face going on.
Is something wrong?
I lost my mother, my aunt. Tina's done nothing but stand against us.
You killed your
Just needs a
aunt.
little lesson. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's putting people in their place.
Oh, no. Why? Why are you listening to her? You're supposed to be this, like... I would have been like, no, I want to give this to Davina. So obvious what's happening.
Do you get any gifts?
What are you doing here?
Technically, I'm crashing, but it's you I came to see. Klaus said you were from this era.
That's so
And
pretty.
I thought with your red hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one just like this.
See, this is how you make...
Perhaps I can help you.
How you make friends and alliances and stuff. Oh.
What a fortunate coincidence finding you here. We have unfinished business.
Not here, not here.
But one very special witch has been utterly ignored. That seems a little unfair to me.
Seriously?
No. Was involved in a plot to kill me. It would be well within my right to execute him here and now. But in the spirit of solidarity and for your favor, Davina, I hereby pardon him.
Wow.
Josh.
Oh, is that the spell I have to make them?
What?
That's cool.
What is it?
It's the spell that makes daylight rings.
Oh, Josh can get one. He looks surprised.
Happy Fête de Benediction! We have a message for all of you.
Oh, is this Marcel?
From Marcel Gerard.
Control yourselves. This is a vulgar trick.
We do not violate our agreements.
Get them out of here.
Seriously, Marcel.
I warned you. And yet still you return to the French Quarter.
You're gonna kill me, Elijah. Go ahead.
Oh shit.
For your violation.
Oh shit.
No.
Oh.
And you die according to my will. Try to remember that.
Oh, fudge.
Picked it out earlier tonight.
Is that a head?
A friend of yours gave me a hand.
Oh god.
What friend was that?
I'll open it. See for yourself.
Is his hand? Yeah.
Klaus Mikaelson, it's you who should be afraid of me.
I believe that.
Pity. I will miss the sex.
Your friend Camille showed up tonight. Her offering was quite sweet. A potential ally. In defense of some powerless human who is, by the way, sleeping with your enemy, Marcel.
Oh. Oh. Ouch.
Ridiculous redemption.
Oh. Is he giving up finally?
If I want something, I'll take it. And nothing will stand in my way.
I'll make sure she wants it to. I'm sure she does.
Kieran will die because of me. And it will be a horrible death.
Sorry.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I believe that secrets are a poison. They need to be spat out.
You compelled me to go out with Marcel. You made me your spy.
Yeah, but
and
that
maybe
was
it's
there.
your fault we got together. And you're just mad because you didn't get to control it.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Tell Marcel, if I see him again, I'll kill him.
Do you want to join us?
No, that'd make everything super awkward.
I want that girl to be happy.
I will take back our city. Even if I have to burn it down first.
Going up against the originals? For real, no backing down.
Whatever it is they want, I will make sure they get it. I swear it.
It's the child.
Oh god, don't kill a baby.
They want us to kill Klaus's child.
That was good. That was a good episode. a lot happened. Yeah, this treaty was not going to work because nobody was truly on board. Nobody really believed that, like, in the equality, like, all factions are trying to, like, protect themselves from attack, but also trying to, you know, be at the top of the food chain, right? Like, take over, like, show that they are better than the other ones. Like, there's no, like, ideal of equality here. Like, nobody feels like there could be. I don't know where the humans stand. It's hard to tell because we don't spend much time with them, with this Francesca girl. I'm sure they feel the same. I'm sure they're not happy with sharing and being the weakest link, and they also want to prove that there's something. So yeah, like it really can't work when all parties are not in favor and they're more like obligated to be a part of this. I mean, the only ones that wanted to be a part of it and was the werewolves, but not because they actually believe in this. It's just that they don't want to be excluded anymore. That they want to be involved. They want a voice. They want to appear to be equal, right? They want to have equal rights, but they don't really have like the same beliefs, or they want to take part of anything that would show that they're equals and stuff like that. So it's yeah. I feel like it could work, but it's not something that would happen overnight. It would take some time because of how much animosity and how much hatred there is and fear and everything. So it's kind of hard to think that this was just happen out of nowhere and there are not going to be any repercussions and there's not going to be any like problems between then and then, like, especially when you're dealing with like deadly factions, like the vampires. They didn't like commit massacre because of that hatred. They did it because they were hungry and they were tempted to do so and they couldn't control their shit. Like, and now like the werewolves are taking it as like, oh, you're right, there's not going to be any peace. I don't know. I don't know what to think sometimes about like when everybody stands. Sometimes I really hate the way Elijah, particularly, and just like the whole Mikaelsons treat Marcel like he's so beneath them. Like how he acted. He kills Terry and then he's like, you live and die by my will. It's kind of like, know your place kind of thing. And it's kind of cringe when you consider where Marcel comes from and where he got on his own and the things that he was able to achieve. And it's kind of like, here comes this guy, this white guy, I'm gonna say it, yes, putting him back in his place, and it's kind of cringy, I'm not gonna lie. But then you have like Marcel showing force, which is something that Klaus taught him, and all the things that he's doing, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. Like he doesn't want to, like, instead of kind of like going with this peace treaty and taking it, you know, yes, he I don't know how to explain it, like, actually. Like, he would rather create more violence. Like, he would rather have, like, people murdered. Like, he would rather destroy this city, right? Because he wants to take it back. Like, what do you want the city for if there's not going to be anything to rule over or, like, anything? Like, you just want to... I don't know. I don't see him wanting this for the right reasons, because the way that you're going at it, it's wrong to me. Like people are dying and you don't seem to give a shit. And these are the people that you're supposed to care for. But then again, not really, because then it's just werewolves and witches, right? Because in Marcel's vision of New Orleans, it's just vampires ruling the quarter, and then everybody else gets scraps and live under his rule, and that's not right either. So it's so complicated. I don't know. And then you have like the whole thing with like the rings and Klaus going behind Elijah's back to talk to the werewolves and give them some like strength and power, and I don't know where that's gonna end up, because that seems to be very dangerous. I feel like they could just start killing vampires left and right once they have this rings and take over the quarter and just do to vampires what Marcel did to them. And then kind of like the whole thing with like the witches, just making enemies with witches. I do believe that Genevieve could kick his ass. Like, I do believe that witches are like the ultimate here. They're so powerful. So I don't know, man, if like they actually go head to head. It's hard to tell. I mean, Klaus can't be killed, true, but he can be immobilized. He can't. He can be stopped and hurt. So I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of thoughts in my head right now because this episode was like so crazy. So we'll see what happens in the next one, and how all this comes together, because right now everything's like a mess. And now that they all come, like Diego and all the vampires are with Marcel now because Elijah killed Thierry. Like, what is it exactly that made him change his mind? Is it the fact that he called Marcel a coward and he showed that he could still hurt the Mikaelsons, that he still had some cards to play, and now he's like, oh, okay, maybe we can like actually hurt them and do something. I don't see this ending in their favor, to be honest. I'm more concerned with this werewolf scenario and the rings and them taking over. And yeah, such a mess. And now they want to kill this baby. Wow. Anyways, yeah, I know I was rambling and I probably didn't make any sense. Like I said, I don't know anything about politics, man. This is just me talking out of my ass. But you guys tell me what you think. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, we're back with another episode of The Originals. This is season 1, episode 19. We're getting closer and closer to the first season finale. Last episode, Marcel kind of showed his colors and just what he's willing to do in order to get back the city. And that includes just tricking a bunch of witches. Not that he's never had any respect of witches to begin with, but he compelled them into going to the party that the witches were throwing and slicing their wrists and just enticing the vampires to go into a feeding frenzy and killing other witches and werewolves, and just that created chaos. And just to prove that Elijah's fantasy of having this truth is just that, just a fantasy. And by that, he gained the respect of Diego and a bunch of others, apparently, because he showed that he was willing to, that he had balls, that he's willing to go the extra mile to get his city back, that he's, going to confront the originals. And also because Thierry was killed as well because of what he did. Elijah came and ripped Thierry's heart out, and I had a lot of issues with that scene because just the way that Elijah treats Marcel, I just don't like it. because, and yes, this was brought up in the comments, like Marcel and Klaus, they have a very strange relationship. It can be very toxic, and there is a power dynamic there where Klaus feels like he has power over Marcel, but he still treats him like a son. And in reality, in Klaus's world, he treats Marcel like he treats his siblings. He treats them like he treats his family. Like he has control, like he likes to have control over them. But Elijah has this thing where he just acts so superior, like, calm down, please, because the way that he just talked to him, like, you live and die by my will, it just made me really uncomfortable, just because Marcel used to be a slave, and Klaus saved him from slavery, and you come here in your little suit and in your high and mighty position of authority and just killed his friend, and you shove your friend's heart in his face, pushing him towards the wall and telling him basically that he never left that place, that he's still below him, like beneath him, that he still like represents that, because it just felt to me. I did not like that. I didn't like how Elijah, and I'm sorry if like this is like gonna upset Elijah fans, and I don't know if that's the purpose or whatever, but that's how it came, that's how it read to me, and I didn't like it. I really don't. It's just ugh. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And Father Kieran is still sick, and now there's no help for him because Klaus kind of pissed off the chick, the witch. What's his name? What's her name? Is it somewhere in here? No, like whatever. It's her, the redhead one. Camille was very nice to her and made a gesture to try and get her to help, and maybe she would have, but then Klaus got all arrogant and yeah. Did the Klaus thing, and now she was like, no, I'm not going to help her, and it's going to be a disaster. And I really don't know what to expect with this whole ring situation, like the moon ring. I don't know if Klaus knows what to expect either, because it can go really bad. Like, the wolves are planning just to take over. And I still don't like Haley. So that's where we are. That's where we are in the show. Let's watch. Oh, and Davina was having like a really tough time because nobody was giving her gifts, and it was so like annoying to watch because everybody was trying to give her a gift, and this witch or whatever was like, no, not her, this other person. Like, excuse me, if I were Davina's friend, like for example Haley, and I wanted to give her a gift, I would be like, no, I'm gonna give her a gift because she's my friend. But whatever.
I don't know, Cammy. I mean, maybe he's still in there underneath all the crazy, but crazy's pretty thick.
I don't know what point it becomes just like a mercy killing, like
shock to his system
because he seems to be
something
suffering.
To wipe the slate clean. Josh, I think I have an idea on how to fix him.
Okay.
The drums of war were beating long before we returned. I suggest you use a little less of this and a little more of these.
Yeah, but let's not give them the means to do it. Like,
I should be there.
What do you know about shock therapy?
What?
ECT. First, it's incredibly dangerous.
But it has been known to help treat cases of extreme psychosis.
But this is supernatural, Cammy.
We don't fully understand it yet. But only in the most extreme.
But this is not a
cases
psychotic episode caused by brain malfunction.
I don't think it gets any more extreme than that.
No, it's not gonna work. This is not something that's happening in the brain. This is supernatural. Oh shit! Oh! felt more like a suicide explosion than... Was it just supposed to take out the person in charge or something?
They don't even have the guts to do their own dirty work themselves.
What makes you think it was vampires?
When you can just compel some poor son of a bitch to do it for you. I say we hit them back. Hard.
Stay here, Oliver.
I don't know, Cammy. I don't think so. Oh no, his suit got ripped.
You know, it's a good thing that bomb went off where it did. Could have been a lot worse.
Right?
You could have got killed.
It just seemed...
A mess.
Oh. Oh!
Get everyone out of here.
There you go. That makes more sense. So the other thing was a distraction for the bigger one. So while everybody's looking over here, someone else is planting this bomb.
Heartbeat's irregular.
You can't keep this up. It'll kill him.
No.
Camille, we need to have a word in private.
It's good that Klaus is here.
I think you need to prepare yourself. This story does not have a happy ending.
The treatment.
We'll kill him. Not to give up. To let go.
It's not your decision to make.
I know, he's not making that decision for you. He's just telling you that it's the healthiest thing to do in this situation, because right now you're just causing him more pain and it's not going to work because it's not physical. It's
1970.
I don't think Marcel did it though.
He's still around, he'll be there.
He's like, my shirt.
I wouldn't stay that close to him. You don't want to do that.
Ah! Ah! I mean, he did warn you.
It could heal her.
Vampire blood?
Yeah, vampire blood.
Trust me, she'd rather die.
Why? That's dumb.
Look, we can't just let him get away with this.
As long as you don't turn.
Even know who's to blame.
The hell we don't! And if we don't fight back, they'll just do it again.
Looking to blame me for things that I didn't do.
Well, I mean,
You didn't have to work Diego like that. You and I are
if you
long
make a
overdue for chat.
reputation for
You want to talk? Talk.
doing ruthless
Girl.
shit, then
You're a lot like your dad in that way.
How heroic.
It was either that or kill them all. And I'm not big on indiscriminate slaughter.
okay.
I have this thing about kids.
So I've heard.
Oh. You did more than hear about it. Andrea, Labonaire.
Okay, so that kind of changes things of like why he had the curse done on the walls.
You might want to look away.
Oh!
What the hell are you doing?
Shit.
Soften his heart. Perhaps his death would be a mercy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I say, yeah.
Just do it, please, Klaus. I can't let him die, not like this.
Well, this situation is horrible.
Guy on the bike, the bomber. Word is he had a gambling problem. Owed money to the casinos. More importantly, to the humans who run them. And Haley, when things get bad, remember, I tried to get you clear of it.
So it was the humans.
I never go through with it.
Yeah.
Turning him wasn't the goal. It was to give you a chance to say goodbye.
You stay. Just a little longer.
Of course.
Aw, that is sweet.
I want to make this place right for her. Safe. For her and the baby.
But at the same time, you want to, you know, take over the quarter and go to war with vampires, right? That was what you told that blonde dude.
How best to break it to you? It appears the hex was broken by your death. A few hours, give or take.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't lose you, not like that. I made him give you his blood.
He's not gonna do it.
Klaus, thank you for today. For being kind.
Yeah, he was.
Look, all you gotta do is just trigger the curse. You'll heal. It's who we are. It's who you are.
Or give her vampire blood.
You want to see what needs to be done.
Oliver, no. Tell me you didn't.
You don't understand.
Then explain it to me, Ollie.
Oh, did you do that?
I know you wouldn't hurt your own people.
It wasn't supposed to happen like this, Evie.
What a douche.
I just wanted to make a little noise.
Oh, they betrayed you. Oh, you poor thing.
Who put you up to this? Stupid kid. Oliver, no.
Unbelievable.
No, no.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Yeah, this is rough. Sorry, Cammy.
They're counting on our doubts.
That's right.
Freaking Ollie, man.
And unfortunately, in troubled times, people do not look for the best, but rather the loudest.
Yeah, that is true. The one that's making the most noise.
I know the wolves have no shortage of enemies. Marcel, for one.
Marcel wouldn't stoop so low. The witches, however, I've witnessed firsthand the depths of your cruelty.
You don't think I did this? What kind of monster do you take me for?
Oh. Oh.
A hex of that magnitude. Kieran's hex will return. If it hasn't already.
See? It's too powerful. Like, shock therapy was not gonna do shit. Oh.
Kill her. Rejoice in life eternal.
Oh, thank God. Oh, he's asking her if that's what she wants. Oh my God. He did deserve better than this. Oh, this sucks.
Your exile is suspended for the next 24 hours. You may return to the quarter to bury your friend. She woke in the dark, not knowing where she was or who was watching over her. It was your name she called. And if you can grant her comfort, so be it.
Did you get it?
Oh, really?
It was around his neck, just like you said.
Well, I'd rather Marcel have it than Francesca.
I assume you're ready to give up this doomed treaty.
This alliance with the wolves.
It's pretty doomed.
If it is to succeed, I believe we want this.
I suppose I have Haley to thank for your change of heart.
If I'm to choose a sign,
Dramatic pause.
to our victory, brother.
Yes. Yay! Cool, cool, cool. All right, that is the episode, season 1, episode 19. So it was Francesca, right? That's her name. The one that owns the casinos. So the human faction aligned themselves with Ollie. You know, they made kind of a deal that they were going to scare the wolves into and getting them riled up, make them think that the vampires were involved somehow, and you know, whatever. But it was more than just a little explosion. They actually went all for it. Ollie didn't know. Shocking that you can't trust people these days. And he is just riling all the wolves up to prepare themselves for battle in the worst way possible, because now they just have this like vendetta and hatred in mind. And you know, when you get so angry and you just start making mistakes and you start doing things that it's just the wrong way. And I don't think Ollie is a good leader at all. I don't think anybody does. But like Elijah says, you know, in times like these, when you're so angry and just want someone to pay for what happened because families died, you look to the loudest, the one that's making the noise of, you know, coming together and yeah, let's show them we're strong, blah, blah, we're not going to let them get away with this, blah, blah, blah. As opposed to the one that's going to be the like smarter and try to calm them down and think twice about just going head on, unprepared, or just fueling this hatred that is only going to cause them more death and more problems. But like Elijah and Klaus were talking at the end, this whole thing with the factions is running so deep that there was no way that this treaty was just going to work, especially overnight. Like, I don't know what they were expecting, that they're going to sign this and they're just going to accept it. No, it's much more than that. I don't feel like they were even ready to sign it to begin with, because it all felt very like they were all forced into, like, obligated to do so. I don't know. This treaty was signed under like the wrong pretenses. Nobody really believed in it, and when that happens, it's not going to work. Like, it was impossible for it to work, and it shows. Like, they're attacking each other. It's just crazy. So all the factions are going to do whatever it takes to protect themselves. And that's why the wolves are making this deal with Klaus, because with this moon ring, not only are they going to be able to control their changings, that means that they're not going to have to suffer through it every month, but they're going to be able to control it in a way that they can be lethal to vampires. So vampires are going to think twice to attack them when they're in human form, because when they're not being werewolves, they're pretty much vulnerable. They're open to attack. Like, see how easy it was for someone to just like blow up their home. So in that way, I understand them, how in their desperation they want to do this. They want to protect themselves. But the way that Jackson was telling Ollie the other day, there's much more to that. It's not just to protect themselves, but to go to the attack. Like, it seems that they just don't want to use this as a protection thing for defense, but going into the offense and going into the quarter and taking over and attacking every vampire and every, like, the witches and the humans and all that, and then becoming the main faction in there, taking over and taking the power for themselves. That's what it sounded like. And if you're talking about protecting Haley and the baby, I don't feel that that's going to do it, because then you're just opening yourself to having more enemies, to more war, to more problems, especially if you're turning yourself more powerful. And it's a given. Like, the more power you have, the more enemies you have, the more people are trying to challenge you. You know, like, Klaus is, like, powerful, and yes, he has a lot of enemies and a lot of people that want him dead. And if they can't do anything against him, they're gonna do something against his family, people that are close to him. It's just, it's not good. It's not good. I don't feel like that's the way that you protect your loved ones. If you're doing it for, like, defensive purposes, yes, but if you're planning on just going to war, like, I don't feel that that's, like, the way with this baby on the way. And what's up with his voice? Is that the actor's voice? Is that just his interpretation of the character? Because I don't know. I'm sure some people like it. Like, to me, it just sounds super forced. Like, it just reminds me of Batman when he's in the suit and he's just, like, trying to make this, like, really deep voice so he's not recognized as Bruce Wayne. And it's just, that's what it reminds me of. I don't know why. It's just weird. I don't feel like, sometimes I just don't see that voice belonging to that body. That makes sense. Then you have this whole situation with Camille, which is very, very sad and tragic. And although I understand the lengths that Camille went to kind of cure or bring Father Kieran back from where he was, from his dementia, I feel like she was doing it more for herself and not really thinking about Kieran in that situation. And that's a very human thing to do. I feel like you want to keep the person that you love alive and well for as long as possible, even though they're suffering, and the best thing to do would be to, you know, let them go. Like Klaus said, it's time for you to let him go. And it would have been a mercy to just let him die. And I feel like it would have been a lot more dignified if he had died, I don't know, it wouldn't be dignified a lot, like that dignified, because he was hexed. But I feel like he went through all these things with his brain. He had his heart, right, like a heart attack or whatever. Probably would have been more dignified to die then than to be turned into a vampire and have to, like, the hex again, going after Camille, and then, like, Klaus staking him. I don't know. It just seemed like she took that choice from him so she could say goodbye, or like for herself, if that makes sense. And I'm not blaming her. I'm not saying that she's a bad person because of it. Like, I understand why she did it. It's desperation, and she just wanted him, you know, wanted a chance that maybe that would save him, and maybe he would choose to go through the transition or whatever. But I don't feel like she was doing it for him. It was more for herself, because she didn't want to let go, and she wasn't willing to lose him. And yeah, it was just sad. And I like that at the end, you know, well, Klaus, the entire episode was with her, and he understood. He knew that it was wrong of her, what she was doing. He didn't approve of it, but he was still going with it because it was her choice. It was more like Father Kieran's choice, but because he had this whole, like, dementia and not really thinking clearly, Camille was making the decisions of what to do. So he was going with it. Trying to be, that this was his way of being supportive. And I don't know if I completely agree that he should have done that. Like, maybe he should have just let him die the way that he was supposed to die and not turn him, like, not give him blood. But he did it because of Camille, and he was trying to be kind to her. and give her the opportunity to say goodbye. Like, that's what he told her afterwards, that this was not about Father Kieran turning or anything like that, because he knew that he was not going to do it. This was about her having a little more time to say goodbye in the right way. And that was very kind of him. But I was just, thinking of Father Kieran in the situation and what he would have wanted. It sucks that he had to go through this whole thing. Yeah. And then at the end, he allowed Marcel to come back and to be with her because she needed him. And that was also very kind of him. And it just shows how capable Klaus is of, showing that amount of kindness, of being selfless and, putting his own feelings aside when he actually does care, when he knows it's important. He can think of others and just put his own feelings and his own needs aside and consider what other people need. Also, he's changing, he's a little different. I feel like a lot of the things that he's gone through with his family, with the fact that he's going to have a daughter, right? All these things have also influenced a lot. But it's just nice to see those little moments where he acts this way, acts more human. And then at the end, Elijah realized that he was in the wrong for thinking that this peace treaty was going to work, and that he has to choose a side. And I'm glad that he chose his family, and he's not like, I'm going to choose to be with Haley, because at the end of the day, this is his family, and it's, they're also, if you're going to be like vampires against werewolves. So it's just, I don't know what's going to happen, if there's going to be like a full-on war between the factions, which in a way would be really cool. I just think that this whole thing, if the werewolves end up having the moon ring, that's going to be a problem, because they can easily take over from the vampires, at least. Not so sure about the witches. It depends if they make an alliance with the witches, because I'm assuming the witches are going to create this moonlight rings for them. Like, Klaus doesn't have the power to do it. He needs the witches to make these rings for the werewolves. And right now, he's not like that friendly with this witch. So he has to make amends with her somehow to still get her to make the moonlight rings. But then it just depends on how loyal the witches are going to be, and if they just choose to align themselves with the wolves to take over the vampires, because they have more against vampires than they do werewolves. Like, Marcel had them suppressed for so long, like they couldn't do magic or they would get killed. So if they have to choose a side to align themselves with, I would assume it would be werewolves. So, and I don't know if Klaus is thinking about that, thinking that far ahead. I like to think he is, because he's really smart, but I feel like he is just thinking about how this benefits him and his daughter, and not really how it's going to actually affect in the long run, and what they would do as well. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. It was really emotional. It was really tough to watch because of Camille, and really annoying because of Ollie, because he's an idiot. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.